We warn you to take shelter, because in this video, the largest earthquake in history occurs. A 20 magnitude earthquake that devastates everything. First, we want to know what magnitude is. Only you need to know that magnitude 2 is 31.5 times stronger than magnitude 1. And magnitude 3 is also 31.5 times larger than magnitude 2. In the unit of measurements, magnitude by doubling each level activity, the magnitude of the earthquake is 31.5 times. One of the largest earthquakes ever to occur is the Japan earthquake. In 2011, an earthquake of magnitude 9.1 rocked the country. The earthquake that nearly razed Japan, both the earthquake itself and the resulting tsunami. But Japan's quake was not history's largest quake. The largest earthquake in history happened in 1960. 9.5 Richter earthquake off Chile's coast. As we said, the earthquake in Japan was a 9.1 magnitude earthquake. The Chile earthquake was also a 9.5 magnitude earthquake. But that number 9 is not so important. The important thing is that 9.1 Richter is very different from 9.1 Richter. In fact, the strength of Chile earthquake was several times that of the Japanese earthquake. This earthquake caused 5 billion in damage. 5 billion about 60 years ago. Can you imagine? The earthquake in Chile left 6,000 dead and more than 2 million homeless. It can be said that this earthquake was the worst earthquake in the history of the planet, because the intense tremors of this earthquake lasted about 10 minutes. Experts say if this quake had happened at night and while everyone was asleep, it would have killed several million people. But luckily in the afternoon it happened and most of the people were outside the building. Now I ask you a question. If a 9.5 Richter earthquake caused so much damage, then what would a 20 Richter earthquake do to us? If there is going to be an earthquake like this on Earth, we should think about moving to another planet, because this earthquake is likely to be much more terrible than we imagine. Much more horrible. In order to be able to understand the power of this massive earthquake, we need to know why and how it happens. Earthquake occurs due to the movement of different earth crusts, but volcanoes can also cause earthquakes. Meteorites can also cause earthquakes. But usually most earthquakes occur due to the movement of several earth crusts. Earth is made up of many different plates that appear to be stuck together but are actually separate from each other. The line that separates these plates is called a fault. These shells are constantly moving. The movement of two shells that are stuck together causes friction between the plates. If they cross side by side, there is no problem. But if they can't get past each other easily, the trouble starts. When two shells collide, both shells push each other in opposite directions. Consider the first shell like a spring. Pressure is applied to this shell like a spring, and more pressure is added to it day after day. An earthquake also happens when this piece of the earth crust, which is like the spring under pressure, suddenly passes through, and the pressure it has endured for years is suddenly released. These events cause earthquakes. The higher the jamming rate of the plate, for example, two 10-kilometer plates are stuck together. Likewise, the longer these plates are, the stronger the earthquake will be. The jamming of the plates, the lower it occurs at a depth relative to the Earth's surface, the weaker the earthquake will be. What fault do we need now to create a 20 magnitude earthquake? Let's simplify the equation. Set aside the 20 Richters if we want to a 10.5 magnitude earthquake to occur, the fault that must cause this earthquake must be 80 million kilometers. But the total perimeter of the Earth is about 40 million kilometers. That means the faults can even produce a 10.5 Richter earthquake. So, we need to forget about the 20 Richter earthquake. The largest earthquake on the ground was Chile's 9.5 Richter earthquake. That is 1 Richter less than the earthquake we imagine. Well, this is a very important Richter, because you have to multiply the magnitude of Chile's 9.5 magnitude earthquake by 31.5 to get to a 10.5 magnitude earthquake. So, we shouldn't worry because there is not going to be a 20 magnitude earthquake. Oh, we had forgotten about meteorites. The faults cannot produce a 20 magnitude earthquake, but meteorites could change all our calculations. I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Before we continue with the video, I ask you to support the video with your likes and comments. Please subscribe to our channel to see more of us. Thank you all. If a very large meteorite hits Earth, it could produce an earthquake as large as 20 Richter. But this earthquake will not be an ordinary earthquake, because the Earth shakes for hours as a result of this impact, and there is nothing left on the ground as a result of these shocks. Worst of all, these tremors trigger the activation of many volcanoes. The activation of these volcanoes causes other earthquakes as well. In these circumstances, even earthquake-proof beds would be useless. Even if he sleeps in these beds, he has to say goodbye to the world because the Earth is exploding. It is possible for the oceans to come ashore in the form of tsunamis and devastate cities. But an earthquake caused by a meteor impact also has a benefit. It is possible to prevent the collision of this meteorite by methods we do not yet know. There is no point in running away, because no place on Earth is safe, unless someone gets on the spaceship and leaves Earth, or else to stay on Earth is to die. Of course, as we said, maybe with technology, they can change the trajectory of the meteor. NASA is working hard on the idea to be able to change the direction of very large meteorites or destroy them, but they probably haven't come to a conclusion yet. Of course, we don't know much about that. In the end, we conclude that such earthquakes are caused either by meteorites or volcanoes. The second point is not to underestimate volcanoes. There are volcanoes on Earth that shake the Earth if they explode. Then they burn the Earth and at the end blow up the Earth. Eventually, the ash covers the ground and sunlight doesn't reach the Earth for years. Geologists say if America's Yellowstone explodes, we will see a 20 magnitude earthquake.